All right, we're going to start on this slide again because as we start our first practice problems, you're going to see this symbol, so I wanted to quickly review it again. When you see this symbol, this top one is your mass number, the bottom number is the atomic number, so that is important to remember as we get ready to do practice problem number 1. So you see the symbol here, you see a top number. Again, we just got done saying that that was going to be our mass number, and this bottom number is the atomic number. So keep those types of things in mind as we go through our first practice problem. So some things that we need to find. We need to find the number of protons. So if you think back and look back in your notes, by definition, the atomic number is equal to the number of protons. So if the atomic number is 11, then the number of protons is 11. We need to know the number of neutrons, and in the previous video we said that we could find the number of neutrons by taking the mass number and subtract the atomic number. So in our case, to find the neutrons, we would have to take 24, which is our mass number, and subtract 11, and that's going to give us neutrons of 13 neutrons. The next one is electrons, and again, the last video holds a lot of this information, so if you need to, you can always look back. But in a neutral atom, neutral means it doesn't have a charge, and there is no charge. You don't see any plus or minus symbols on the sodium. Na is sodium symbol. So that means that your protons equal your electrons, and so if your protons are 11, that means your electrons are also 11. And wants to know the atomic number. That's very easy, as the bottom number is the atomic number, so 11. And the mass number, top number is the mass number, so 24. And then the name of this you would need to look up on a periodic table. But if we look at a periodic table, and actually you should have one in front of you. So if you take a look at the periodic table, the easiest way to find something is if you know the atomic number. We do. We know it's 11. And we know that the atomic numbers go in order. So if you look at the top of your box is where the atomic numbers normally are, and find 11, you're going to see the symbol Na, and you will see that the name of it is sodium. So there's your first example problem. We're going to go through a few more together, and then you're going to do some on your own. Okay, so let's take a look. At this next symbol, we want to find the number of protons. So again, the number of protons is the atomic number, and we said that the atomic number is always the bottom number when you have a symbol written the way we do, so that would be 35. The number of neutrons you get by taking the mass minus the atomic number. You could also do mass minus the number of protons, because atomic number and protons are the same. So 80 minus 35. Again, if you need to get a calculator out to do the subtraction, feel free to. If you can do it in your head or scratch paper, that's fine. The number of electrons. The number of electrons is going to be the same as your protons, so that's going to be 35. The atomic number is always the bottom number that's written in the symbol. The mass number is always the top number that's written in the symbol. Then we need to know the name. So again, we know that the atomic number is 35. So if we look this up on the periodic table, we look for number 35, we will find that the name of this is bromine. Okay? All right. Next example, we don't have a symbol anymore. So now we have like a short little story problem. It says we have an element, and it tells us automatically the atomic number is 34. And the mass number is 78. So we can calculate again all of this information. The number of protons is the atomic number, and they told us the atomic number was 34. The neutrons you get by taking the mass minus the atomic number. So if we did the mass, it'd be 78. The atomic number is 34, and so we're going to get 44. For our neutrons. The number of electrons, protons always are going to be equaling electrons in our examples, so we're going to have 34 there. And then we need to complete the symbol. To complete the symbol, we would need to know what the letters are off the periodic table. So if you take a look and find atomic number 34 on your periodic table, the letter symbols, some boxes are only one letter, some of them are two. This one happens to be two. It's a capital and a lowercase. Don't make them both capitals, please. And the name of that is selenium. All right, and we have a periodic table there so that we can see number 34 right here, Se and selenium. All right, last practice problem we're going to do together. You're going to do number 5 on your own, and I'll check that one in class. We have 91 protons, we have 140 neutrons. So they're giving us a little bit different information in this one. The atomic number, that's always the number of protons. By definition, atomic number is the number of protons. They gave us that in the problem as 91. The mass number is your protons and your neutrons together. Mass equals protons plus neutrons. So we have 91 protons. They tell us that we have 140 neutrons. So that means in this case we have 231 total as the mass number. Excuse me. Electrons, protons equal electrons. So since our protons are 91, we're going to have 91 for our electrons. If we look up the atomic number of 91 on our periodic table, and you're definitely going to need to make sure you bring a periodic table with you all the time, that would be PA. And it's a capital P, lowercase a, so make sure that you are writing the symbol correctly. And that is protactinium. All right, and we can find 91 right here down at the bottom, PA. All right, this next one you're going to do on your own. It's very similar to the last one that we just did, where now we have the electrons and we have neutrons. Just remember we went over this one several times, but in a neutral atom, protons equal your electrons. So by saying that you have 78 electrons, you also have 78 protons. So you're going to work through this one on your own. If you have questions, you need to let me know, as this will count for credit. And if you don't complete the problem, you won't get full credit for doing your notes. So please ask if you have any questions.